getting you updates from West Asia. Of course, the war which rages on amid the renewed talks for a potential truce in the Israel-Hamas war. There are reports of discord between Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. Israeli media reports that Netanyahu has barred Gallant from holding talks with Mossad chief on hostage release deal in his absence. Well, reports say that at least twice Gallant separately invited Mossad chief David Barnea to hold one-on-one discussions which Netanyahu disapproved. Now, till now, we have seen Israel's war cabinet stand together against the terrorist attacks that they have endured on the 7th of October. Gallant sought to be briefed up on Barnea's recent secret trip to Paris for hostage talks before Netanyahu could get any updates. Now is the first time we're seeing some kind of a divide there. Now, this reportedly angered the Israeli Prime Minister. Netanyahu had earlier stated that only the war cabinet has the authority to decide on the matter of hostages and those who are missing. On the latest reports, there has been no reaction from either Netanyahu or Yoav Gallant. These reports come as talks have picked up again on a potential truce deal between Israel and Hamas. Negotiations are reportedly going on between Israel and Hamas under Egyptian and Qatari mediation for a possible prisoner swap deal. According to Israeli media, there are still about 129 hostages believed to be held in Gaza, though all are not alive, as per reports which have come in. Although Netanyahu and Gallant have pledged to work together to fight Hamas, there are indications of other differences as well between the two leaders. As per reports, you have the two men in front of you on your screens, the Israeli Prime Minister and the Israeli Defense Minister. As per the reports, Gallant has been pressing since the war began for the IDF to launch a major campaign against Hezbollah in Lebanon. But Netanyahu has thwarted that idea. Then on the other hand, a few weeks ago, the pair held separate press conferences minutes apart in the same building in Tel Aviv. Netanyahu had said that Gallant disregarded his suggestion and went ahead with a separate conference. All right, for more on this, we are now being joined by our correspondent, Jody Cohen from Ranana. Jody, welcome on board.
Hi, Shivan.
Jody, Netanyahu has in his, has said that war will go on till Hamas is crushed. War will go on till Gaza is demilitarized and Palestinians are de-radicalized. When we talk about de-radicalization, how does he intend to do that?
So he's written an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal about this, where he makes those 3 points. Now, on de-radicalization, this is quite a short article. He doesn't go into detail, but we know from what he said in the past that he believes that this is very important and that it was radicalization that led to the mass shootings, beheadings, burning people alive and the rape that we saw on the 7th of October attack by Hamas. Now, he doesn't just believe that de-radicalization needs to happen in Gaza, but also in the West Bank, because he says that the Palestinian Authority funds and glorifies terror. And in this article, he talks about how schools must teach children to cherish life and not death, and that imams must stop preaching for the murder of Jews. He believes that this can be done, and this is something that is across the board in this unity war cabinet that we have at the moment in Israel. Netanyahu, in his article, compared it to the de-radicalization of Germany and Japan after World War II, and also to efforts taken by Gulf leaders after 9/11. But he does believe that it's very important to have a new Palestinian leadership, and again, this is something that the cabinet seemed to agree on. Netanyahu said that President Abbas has not condemned the 7th of October attack, and that several of the Palestinian ministers have actually denied the atrocities that took place, or even accused Israel of carrying out them against Israelis, and said that another minister has threatened a 7th of October style attack against Israelis in the West Bank too. And we know that Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer is in Washington for talks today. He's going to be meeting with National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan and with Secretary of State Antony Blinken. So they're likely to talk about all of this and also the war strategy.
Jody, another point here. Now, of course, there have been strong statements which have come in from the Israeli leadership. Does Israel anticipate a flare-up post the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps official who was killed in Syria? And how is it expecting Iran to take these statements which have been made by the Israeli leadership?
Right, so of course this, the killing of the senior Iranian officer, that Iran is saying that this is an alleged Israeli strike in Syria. The IDF has not given a comment on this, but Iran, as we know, has vowed revenge against Israel. From an Israeli perspective, Israel believes that Iran is already very heavily involved in this war through its support for its proxies. So that's not just support for Hamas in Gaza, but also for Hezbollah in Lebanon. And we've seen rockets fired by Hezbollah that have destroyed half of the homes in the Israeli town of Manara in recent days. Also the Houthis in Yemen, and we've seen the attacks on shipping from there. The Islamic resistance in Iraq, who've said that they've attacked an Israeli gas rig in recent days. Plots against Israel and Jewish targets abroad, such as in Cyprus, and cyber attacks against Israeli infrastructure. And Israel is saying that all of these are linked to Iran. Iran is, of course, denying these allegations, but we know that US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has also called on Iran to de-escalate. So Iran has vowed revenge, and Israel is certainly waiting for their next move.
All right, Jody, thank you so much for joining in on the broadcast, sharing all your insights on this. We will be in touch for all the latest that's coming in from the Israel-Hamas front.